wanted to be outside today, but it's a little bit overcast. Quite a bit of rain. Oh well. I guess as the great immortalized. What was his name? Fuck it, we'll do it live. Who was it? That dude. I think he's still on TV too. Amazing these characters they bring out the woodworks to push a narrative, an agenda. What was his name? Bill O'Reilly. That was Bill O'Reilly. Yeah. Fuck it, we'll do it live. The remix they did when he's crying and they got the little kid who was whining about people calling him gay. Oh, it's hilarious. Anyways, good morning. How you doing? What's up, Skull? What are you doing? I'm snacking. Well, see, I normally don't have breakfast, but it's a dreary day, so I have a croissant. I put some ghee on and some chocolates. I made myself some Lion's Mane coffee chocolate it's concoction. And I figured I'd talk about the quasi-theorists. The overabundance, the fact that we have an overabundance of information and no way of any type of clarity and clarifiers, quality information. The overabundant, Dennis Leary talking about croissants. No, I haven't. I dig some of his stuff sometimes, but I did enjoy when Greg Giraldo got up in his ass, and I forget what show they were on. Oh, I think Tough Crowd with Colin Quinn, and Greg Giraldo owned him so many times. I mean, considering his whole act was based upon I'm an asshole, and he stole that from somebody, like just straight stole the whole thing. He's kind of a chump for that, but whatever. Okay, so it's these quasi-propaganda conspiratorial theorist thing. These people, okay, there's such an abundance of what you'd call, you've got the narrative, then you've got the antithesis or the antithesis of the narrative that is controlled, both sides apparently, but to what degree? And is there more than two answers to any question? Yes, there's infinite. But as far as we can tell, when you play that left-right, that dual, they switch well, it's over here, then it's over here, and then they misplace a little over here, and kind of pull people in between. Yeah, it's all a weird thing. There's so much information. Then now what we have is people that were in so first it was like the truther community and the woke people. The woke is a joke. People that are woke, it's a joke. They're some of the most sleepy Floyds out there, man. Sleepy heads. And then the truther movement. I can't stand that shit because because those things are already the pop hot button counter things. Guarantee those are all controlled narrative on the opposite side. Now it gets to this point of ridiculousness where everything and anyone that says anything is not everyone's suspect of everything that, well, they're part of the thing. I think you got people out here. I was just having a conversation with somebody, and they were talking about how, once I understood who Terrence McKenna was. Oh, here we go. So Terrence McKenna now, throw him under the bus. Manly P. Hall. You're right. Walter Russell, throw him under the bus. Like, tell me anybody in your favorite music, favorite thing going on in the movies, because you did like actors for a while. Now everybody hates them. Tell me about all of these people that you learned from. Tell me they weren't part of some sort of society or club. Tell me you don't know people. It's absolutely, frankly, insane at this point. You like, so you're just gonna throw out everything McKenna said? Are you shitting me? You like to think that, like, well, now that I know that he's part of the club, I can't listen to anything he says. You're gonna throw out Manly P. Hall's work. Just throw it in the garbage. All the work that Manly P. Hall put out, because something that maybe he said in there was not 100% copacetic for what needs to be. It's a very and so then you got people that are so everything's conspired. Well, of course it is. Just understand what the word means. That's all it is. People work together to do something. Is some of it for ill-gotten gains? Is some of it not really that good? Yeah, certainly. But you can't just throw it all out. That's ignoramus. Like, I don't know who it was. They're like, well, Santos Bonacci, he's part of it. What didn't you learn from him? Are you kidding me? Walter Russell, Santos Bonacci, Manly P. Hall. What's going on? Well, Skull and Bones, you said you don't trust anyone talking about the giant people, or piss drinking. Well, shit. Here I am talking about giants and piss drinking. I am a giant that drinks my piss. Amazing. What's up, John Shamanic? Crazing it up all day. Well, maybe a little bit stir crazy, because I'm not probably gonna go outside too much. I wanted to go to a coffee shop today and hang out and do some other work there, but I got up to a thunderstorm, and it's like going to a coffee shop when it's thunder and raining out. It's cozy, but with the whole like restrict. I want to sit outside right now, but I don't think that's gonna happen today. And the whole thing inside is a little goofy. The delusion. Oh, you only trust people. Yeah, thank you, Skull. You only trust people. Yes. Yeah, well, a little bit of coffee and lion's mane and chocolate. That's what I'm drinking here, because I couldn't. Because I mean, I could go to the there's a coffee place like right there, and there's 3 coffee places that are close. I just don't want to go to those. I want to go to the ones that's a little bit of a walk. But it's dreary out. You see how it's dreary here? All in Skull, yes. Yeah, I never caught that. I never caught that the school is Skull. But just finishing up the whole idea on how much information is out there. It doesn't matter that there is clearly misinformation put out there. There's clearly good information, but there's so much information. Sifting through it, you're gonna have, what I was trying to explain to this person, like, whatever you do, you're going to have to sift through information. Like, no one is holding the whole thing. You don't have all of it. You're never going to. You're gonna say something and do something that it doesn't line up. Like, you're a big person. You have a lot of thoughts, a lot of ideas. You're gonna contradict yourself throughout life. No way around it. No one holds firm to one set of ideas and principles in their life. It's impossible. You can't. And if you do, you're a maniac. Because there's all sorts of times that you have to go, well, but in this situation, well, I thought you said it was no good to kill anyone, but you'd go back in time and kill Hitler as a baby. Not even knowing. Not even knowing that if you kill Hitler as a baby, you might not get Walt Disney. And then you don't get to go and spend time in Disneyland. Oh, well, fuck Disney. Everything about that was off. Come on. We're going too far with this shit. And the whole narrative cancel culture shit. I mean, that's obviously out there. I mean, people that still... What's up, Declan Hopcroft? I haven't seen you. Wubba dubba. Yeah, what up? I haven't seen you in a little bit. Wubba dubba dub dub. Yeah, I think it's that there are some master teachers out there. There are. You're never going to be able to get 100% of everything good out of it. They're not going to be right about everything. I don't care who it is. I haven't heard anything that Manly P. Hall has ever said that is incorrect. And I've listened to a large amount of his work. And by incorrect, I'm like, what did he say that is not, like, beneficial to humanity? I'm not sure yet. I'm telling people, oh, so you must know, but they're part of a club, so you can't listen to them, because if you do, they're going to misguide you, and they're going to take you into the depths and pits of hell, and they're evil, they're from other, blah, 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 blah. They're fucking reptiles, shapeshifters. Okay. I would hate to not be a shapeshifter. I would hate not to have my reptile brain. I would hate not to. What do you think, you're going to go through life and not change? That's insane. Everybody shifts shapes and thoughts and ideas and what they are through a lifetime, or many lifetimes, or dream worlds, or whatever. You don't think people can come back from a dream world and have more information than they did before they went in? You ever see people like out of a coma can speak a different language? What do you think happens there? Maybe they're hanging out in another country in a dream, and they just pop open here. Oh, whatever! I can speak another language or do something. Yeah. You don't think that shit happens? I mean, there are definitely walk-ins for people's bodies. There are spirits that jump into other people's bodies. Okay, so that's other level stuff. That's going to be real goofy. Let's not talk about that. Even though it's pretty much shown in science all the time that shit happens, but it's not popularized because there's no way for them to study it. Because how could they? You can't. It's not. How do you prove that? All they can say is the dude clearly didn't know how to play any instruments, didn't speak any other languages, and wakes up from a coma that he's been in the hospital for a couple months, a month, whatever, and now he can play instruments perfectly and recite the Bible in ancient Aramaic. I mean, that shit happens. So that could be what you would call a walk-in, where a spirit left the body and the spirit came in, or it could be somebody who just was out in astral realms traveling around. If you don't understand, people can get out of body, people can get in the astral realms, you learn things. And you don't think you learn things just because of your dreams, you think they're just like some passing little fantasy. Once you look at the symbology of it, you learn something from the symbology. Then you start controlling your dreams, and you start seeing deeper in your dreams. And then you're doing things that are like living in an alternate dimension or realm. Right? I do wonder, like, there's people that are like so excited to like, they're so like, here's why these people, we can't listen to them. Prime example. Tell me anybody here that wasn't heavily influenced to becoming aware by David Icke. I don't know anybody in the larger community of people that are somewhat aware, somewhat conscious, and they could even be truthers or woke or whatever to a degree, but like he didn't help. Is it obvious that he's in the club? He played professional soccer. He was part of a news broadcast. I mean, obviously. What did you think? How deep is he? I mean, obviously, pretty popular, well put together piece of information. I mean, is he not telling you how to control your mind? Like, I don't understand people, yeah. So what? What I don't see what he's doing to. Then they go, oh, he's clearly got kids that are trannies. He's clearly a woman. All this, like, I'm like, isn't it creepier that you guys are all obsessed with who's a transvestite? I think that's creepier. Now, have I looked at it, and is it obvious to look at the Adonis belts and the length of fingers and the way shoulders work on men, and why you can't get your hand up the way a woman could look good because the rotator cuff, and there's a certain few giveaway features. But a lot of them, okay, they got trannied before they were born, or quickly thereafter. They had no fucking say in the matter. You can't be mad at them. What do they know? What do they know other than that? You know, to look at them and go, oh, they're all creepy and blah, 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 blah. Like, they didn't do that, you dumb shit. You can't even focus on what the problem is. You don't even know what the problem is because you're too busy staring at transvestites in Hollywood. Why don't you just enjoy what they're doing? What do you think Where did Hollywood come from? You know, what do you think the media was doing? What do you? All the men were always in. They dressed up as the women and played those parts and back in the plays. What do you think was going on? Now it's just done. Maybe it was done that way too. Then maybe you don't know what the technology was then. I mean, speaking of higher technology, certainly, what's the problem with it? I'll tell you what the problem it is. It's pushed as a narrative on the TV. And the people are delusional enough to believe that somehow, before our kid's 5 years old, they'll figure out what gender they are. Go ahead, cut off their genitals as them. That's the fucked up part. And the people, the parents, they already went through a system too. Their brains don't work. I mean, you look at them like, didn't you figure it out? You're like, and you're a parent now, so apparently you're intelligent enough where you could raise a child properly, and not understand. It's probably they're going through development phase. Like they're not even self-aware or self-identified until about 5 years old, anyways, and even the slightest bit of degree. And then all of a sudden, they're gonna be like, "Wow, I don't even understand. What is this? What is?" They don't even have the second characteristics up until earliest 10. So then go on from there. What do you think? What did? Well, they'll figure out what they are, and if they want to chop they can do that. Well, of course, I think go ahead. In your 20s, your 30s, you have some relationships, you figure it out, live different cultures, understand some things, do what the fuck you want with your body. But I think maybe there is a reason the state took over and bonded all the children to state, because the parents don't know what the fuck is going on. But whose fault was that? And then we got to get back into the antediluvian. I mean, I guess we'd have to go back to the controllers, and the medes, and some other things that have influenced culture. But nonetheless, I mean, I'm about quick pointing fingers at these people that have literally been helping humanity out. I don't care. You don't think some people are on teams and they don't want to be there, so they'll just be like, well, here's what this is. I don't like all this shit that's going on. People that are like trying to disassociate from a family ties. They can't do it. Like, especially monetarily. Like if somebody's really rich, what are they gonna do? Walk away from a bank account and they're gonna just be like done with that? Like, no, they don't do that. What do you think? People that's their friend group? You think they're gonna socially be ostracized from a group by saying like, fuck this, all a bunch of bullshit they do? Anyways, let me get back to whatever you guys are talking about. What's up, Kabar? Declan, I've talked about this many a times. I don't think mercury is the problem. I think it's the metal that the heavy metals that they're using to mix it with. I think that's the problem. I don't think mercury is as harmful to the human body as they let on. Just like radioactive materials. I mean, a dude came out eating the stuff. I mean, radioactivity is everywhere anyways. It's not necessarily harmful to the system. Just like eating gold and silver, antimicrobial, antibacterial. Literally, Indians sprinkle gold onto their food. So there must be something different going on here. But if they're making the mercury fillings with the why I screw this word up, amalgam, the amalgamation, the amalgam that they're bonding it with, I think that's the problem, and that's what's causing it. I don't think it's the mercury, especially when we consider mercury is one of the 7 original alchemical planets. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think, and I mean, it's what an interesting material, right? It's metal, but it's liquid. But it's connected to a lot of things. So I don't think, and also if you look into mercury, they use it in Ayurveda to make medicine. So. Yeah, Jan. Hey, Afro Man, I like the idea. If people use their brain, like if they're locked into left brain thinking, masculine, right-handed, and they're very computer oriented, and they see everything application wise. They're not into automobiles anymore. They know electronics, maybe a little bit. They know computer systems, at least the applications, right? If you teach them that way, they could probably learn it. You know, the only way you can never directly download anything to someone through. I mean, there is direct experiential things, and that's pretty much life. But when you teach somebody, you have to teach them through analogy. You have to teach them through a analogous situation. I can explain the body to you as an automobile in every way. Like even I can explain the brain as a computer. You know, this is simple things. And the reason they are that way, the reason these things outside of us were designed the way they are is because they're designed off of the human body, because the human body seems to be, as far as we can tell, the highest level of technology that exists. It's like animated, and there you are, you're thinking, right? What's up, Carson? Hey man, thanks for the duckets last week. Radioactive. I know people hated that song. I did not. I liked it. I think I maybe liked it more because there's a video of a cat jumping off of a balcony and during a peak in that song. Or maybe it wasn't Radioactive. Was it the other one? What they did? Anyways, that group though. The cat jumps off the balcony and it slips as it does with all 4 feet, and it's like, whoa, and it is fucking amazingly funny. What was that group? Not Radioactive though. I'm sure you've seen the cat video. Maybe some mercury does help you, yeah. Well, mercury is mostly connected to the lungs, right? It's the only sun moon. It's the center, basically the center pole of the realm, Mercury, and it affects your lungs and speaking. It's connected to Gemini. So that duality of Gemini, why Gemini is basically 2 poles, because Mercury is literally a sun and moon, 2 poles stuck together. It's an androgynous being, hermaphroditic and androgenic being. Oh, keep them in, get them removed. I would say if you can and you can afford to, get them removed. Depends on how bad, you know. I mean, and you can always also get them replaced with other shit that is either more healthy or like just silver amalgam. Silver would be fine. You could probably, and there's other ways of filling it now. I think that they're using something with basically crystals, like micro crystals, using something like, because your bone structure is a crystal grid anyways, it's made of. So, and because your teeth are piezoelectric, to me it would only make sense to use basically like that kind of substrate, like use that, and I mean you could use silver in there too, but I mean that might be, and it's going to come out feeling about the same color as your teeth, and you know, if you got one back here, I mean it doesn't really matter what color you're going with, but yeah, the crystals. I mean, look at the Mayans, look at the ancient Mayans. You find that they had crystals and all. They drilled out their teeth and put crystals in there. You think that was just for fun? No, that was because each one of these connects to part of your spine, your vertebrae. Your teeth connect to that. And so if there's a specific energy, that would go to that channel. So red, so a jasper stone or something, or ruby. Yeah, red like ruby. They would use that and put that in that channel. But the easiest would just be, just anything would be quartz. Because your teeth are piezoelectric. You're really not supposed to be eating. I mean, at the highest level. Well, like here, I think this is part of the game down here and the fun. But, you know, you don't really eat on the higher levels. What's up, Stan? Oh, Imagine Dragons. That's right. Imagine Dragons. There they are. Yeah. A silica. There you go. Silica. So there you go. Because silicon, that goes back to the trees, the connection to roots. Your roots of your teeth, trees, silica, carbon. Those are two systems, and silica and quartz crystals. There's a connection there with all of that. So the silica base, silicone base, would be useful. As far as I can tell, it'd be better than heavy metals. It'd be better than, in order, that would probably be silica or quartz crystal, then silver mercury combo, something for fillings. Gold caps are fine, but then they start throwing heavy metals and shit in there. Think about it, they're finding something cheap and hard to find, and they just throw that in the mix, and then changes the aggregate, so the material that's inside of there, and the energy isn't conductive the same way. Also, thumbs up are great. Thumbs up, better, even better if you like that. Donations are awesome. Appreciate that. You know how to do it. Just look in the description box. CashApp, Venmo, and the other one. Oh, and now I guess on CashApp and PayPal, you can pay in. If you guys everybody was telling me get a wallet for crypto, you can do that on CashApp and PayPal. You can. So if you don't want to go the route of putting in the money, then give me the CashApp and PayPal. I can use it on there. Oh, and Venmo too. That's the other one. I got like an Ethereum or some other wallet, but I'm just like, one more thing for me to, one more password and bullshit to deal with. So obviously I appreciate all that. Easiest thing you do, stick your thumb on that like button. And tell your friends to subscribe and come listen to me talk, because it's wildly entertaining. I talk and I eat with my talk with my mouth full. I drink alcohol in the morning. Yeah, completely crazy person. I somehow magically look old and young at the same time. I'm a beautiful display of contradictions. Tell people to fast. I'm saying chowing down on a croissant. I say don't eat bread. Should not be eaten like this. That's pretty much the worst thing you can do. Be eating. Don't eat meat. Just cooked up a plate of ribs. What are you gonna do? The hypocrisy of this dude. The hypocrisy. That'll be my whole next video. Contradictions and hypocrisies. And we'll find out who in this wide, wonderful, wacky world lives without them. I think we all know the answer to that. Only the one most high, Jesus motherfucking Christ. Oh, wait. Well, here we walk in contradiction, too. He was pretty much anti-violence, right? But you know what he did do? Running up in tables, running up in money changers, banking institutions, essentially flipping tables over, saying, "Rah! You will not." Seemed a little violent to me. His dad was pretty violent too. I don't know if you read the book. I did not come to bring peace. I come to bring war. That's pretty much. I mean, it could have been a mistranslation, but it happens all over. And he did like foreskins a lot. He wanted foreskins. He was just always out there like, "Yo, just get me a bunch of foreskins." I'm like, "That's really kind of gross, buddy." Like, "No, I need those." He's like, "So if I get you a bunch of foreskins, you'll give me like a bounty, and you'll like, save the goats or something." Heck yeah! Just lots of foreskins. And he always liked the Philistines foreskins. I don't know if they tasted different. I don't know if he barbecued them, if he turned them in cracklings. You know, like how, I made the other day some, you can't really call them chicharrones if it's not pork, but if you take chicken skin and oven fry it, you get a pretty badass crackling. I mean, I guess you call it crackling. Chicharrones. Yeah, good snacking, man. It's everything you want. It's you know how you like crispy fried chicken? You just get the skin and then just put the. Oh, it's fantastic. Just think about that. So I got some really cool gifts just recently, but she's not here. But if you guys see her, say thank you. Melissa. What does she go by on here? Man, I can't. It's so funny because I always try to. Then when I start knowing people off of line, and I have to translate back to their names. Anyways, I'll tell you who it is whenever she's on here. She's sent me so many goodies. So many. You want to see my new goodies that I got? Check this joint out. Womp womp. So rocking out the new mug, the lion's mane, all sorts of shit, man. I don't even know where to start. There's like so much stuff. I needed a battery to charge outside. I don't even know if she knew this. She got me a rechargeable battery that sun charges. What the fuck? So yeah, she did the mat hookup. Cracking open a. I told myself yesterday I was at the store and I was like I should get some breakfast stout because I knew I'd want to get up and have a breakfast beer, but instead I got a Big Little Thing IPA. It's an Imperial IPA. It's a huge beer. It's 9%. And so I got a 6-pack, and I was like, I'm not drinking 6 of these tonight. I was like, I'm fucking be. But I don't really want it in the morning because I wanted something a little more. So we'll see. This is like basically 2.5 beers. I mean, it's fine. It's fine because I'm not outside. It's not hot. If it's hot outside, I gotta drink the Coors Banquet beers or the High Lifes or the PBRs. So what else? What do you guys want to dig into here? I've covered the earlier part of the video. I covered that as much as I wanted to. I will make it to tell you what hypocrisy and contradictions because I think that's you're not living if you're not doing that once in a while. Obviously, you can't just be a walking contradiction, but you gotta have a couple. Foundationally, this is kind of how I'll be like. This is what my belief system is about something. How I'll act towards the world at large, or how I'm interacting. Like you gotta have that, but there are always other ways to be. That was a good croissant. I added a little chocolate to it. I think most people, the way their life would work better is if they did everything backwards, or just the opposite of what they're doing. Why? Because if everything in the world is already pretty much backwards, just do the opposite. Start walking backwards. Start writing backwards. Start doing it with your other hands. I mean, if you do the writing with your other hand, you're going to learn something. If you walk backwards, you'll learn a lot real quick. A lot of people that would, oh wait, Da Vinci, he was one of them. He walked backwards. Oh, we can't trust that guy. I mean, he wasn't doing anything. Nobody likes his artwork. No, not at all. Oh, I'm gonna do a whole video on this one tomorrow, but I've done part of this one, the worst inventions ever. Number 1 is shoes. Number 2 is a toilet. In the way that we have it in your standardized toilet. Pretty bad. Shoes and toilets are 1 and 2 worst inventions ever. Cars are down the line. Cars are way down the line. Mobile transporting units. Ah, skull. Wicked man. Thank you. That's perfect. That's taking care of my. If hopefully the sun comes out, I'm going to go and collect some goodies at the store. Because I really don't want to drink any more of the. I don't want to drink these Imperials all day. I'll be nice after this one. Because it's not going to affect how quickly I drink it. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, that's 2.5 beers, so I'm going to take 2.5 beers worth of time to drink this. It's not going to change. So that's like, so basically kind of like doing 2 little mini shots in a beer if I drink that. I'm a nice little, how's your father? So why are shoes the worst invention ever? Because it does everything you could possibly do wrong to a human, all at once. Physically, mentally, and spiritually, it destroys humans. I mean, your electric, it ruins your health. It ruins your posture. It ruins your literal internal health. I mean, once you're not grounded, you put a rubber piece on your soul, you're not. Rubber soul, man. And then all of a sudden they put the heel in the back. So now you've just adjusted where your ankle sits, where your knee sits, how your spine adjusts. Physically, we're putting people all strange, out of posture. The gait of their walk is all tore up. They're not connected to the earth. They don't ground out. Makes their body not just discharge energy properly, nor do every cell in the body cleanses itself properly. I mean, where else to go with the shit? I mean, you're supposed to be touching the ground for another bunch of reasons, because you have a bunch of acupuncture points. You would look where you're going. You'd pay attention to where you're walking. People don't pay attention when they're walking. They have shoes on. They're gonna hurt your feet. Just walk around, blomp, blomp. You're outside. You're gonna pay attention where you're stepping. You won't step in dog shit no more. You won't. You'll stub your toes. You'll stub your toes at first because you're not wearing shoes, but maybe not because you're gonna be paying attention because you don't want to. You're gonna get all the little rocks and things, and then put a little trigger. All of a sudden, it feels more comfortable not to wear shoes. I go through phases where I can't stand being inside the house, and I can't stand having shoes on. It's literally like I can't stand it. And it's not. I'm just like energetically, I'm just like, I have to go take my shoes off. Bare minimum in the house. And there's ways to work on it in the house. You can get a grounding mat. You can make a grounding mat. Do you guys want? Maybe I'll do that in the future. But I don't have enough time to do all this shit. But we can make grounding mats. I can show you how to do it. I have a bunch of the shit here right now. It's not very hard. I could probably make one while we're sitting here. Are moccasins a solution? That's funny because my friend's baby, we were talking. Some people are like, "Do you not put shoes on him?" And she's like, "No, why would I put shoes on him? He's not even walking. And why would I put shoes on him?" They're just, that's their concern. The kid's 6 months old. Why does he have any shoes on? Why would he have shoes on? It'd be like wearing a fucking helmet while you're walking down the street. Pointless. Wearing a seatbelt while you're not even in a car. Yeah. So what is the solution for the shoes? Yeah. So we were talking about that, and we were talking about moccasins and how the leather sole might be a better idea. I was just going to find out what the real deal natives were putting on their feet. There's a lot of things that you'd have to change that your feet would respond differently to the weather. Certainly they need coverings. Like you can't, when it's really cold, you're not gonna be going around thinking you're a monk melting snow with your hands all the time, because it's a lot of you'd be spending your whole life obtaining chi and learning how to discharge energy out of your hands and feet. But just living a regular life, I mean, there's upgrades. Probably something you can design that would still allow you to be connected and still have thick rubber soles, which I've already thought about and can be easily done. Connect a piece of copper wire inside of the shoe, flat underneath the bottom of your foot. Have it come out the back, down, and lay on little, so as you're walking, it's touching the ground. To ground you right out. Something done business with me. Let's design these bitches. What else? But yeah, moccasins. I mean, there's ones that will help you just with your gait, at least, and then you can just take them off once in a while. Like, there's like Vivos, Vibrams. They're called no drop shoes, because there's not a drop. There's usually a degree of an angled drop. Those will help a lot of things with, energy in the spine and stuff, and just correcting posture. Really funny to walk with at first, because people walk with a lot of people heel strike. The bottom of the back of their foot comes down first. Popularly, you would depending on, there's a few things that would change. You'd either toe strike. You have your 3 pads underneath your big toe, then all the way on the other side, and then basically your big toe, that, and the other one. Those 3 things are your major points that's the 3 would come down. Or and it would be almost simultaneous as your heel. But most people, because of that thing that has now adjusted everything, they heel strike because they walk all goofy. Watch a baby learn to walk. Their head is forward. They're running like Naratu. Hands behind their back. The whole way people run like this, that might not be the fastest way to run, quite honestly. Watch comic books. Watch how people run in comic books. Their hands go straight behind them. They lean forward, and they dig into the ground. And I know, and you can, I believe it was Master Earth was told. He showed you on camera. He showed you on Earth how to run. Master Earth. But yeah, there's alternative food. There's alternative things we can use. Some Canadian chick, I believe, just started making shoes with banana peels as the sole, because she was like, man, they take a lot, because she was into, like, I don't know, agriculture, and she's like, oh, bananas take a long time to biodegrade, and we could turn, and so she's using that, and so I don't remember what else she was using. A rubber tree, and banana peels and something else. Or you just make organite shoes. Yeah, them Vibrams. Yeah. Haha, nice, Dan. Yeah. And then, I mean, the upgrade to that is just do the whole, make the sole itself a piece of organite. And that way you can use rubber, um, polyurethane, crystal. All you can use the stuff that the shit's normally made of as the. Let me see what I got in my closet. Let me think about this. I mean, you'd pour it. It just the. Let me hold on one second. Oh man, I put it up in the corner. I don't feel like getting down right now. So like a resin, like an epoxy, right? I just you would just make it. You'd use a lot of rubber in it, and then you'd add all the things that you would for a piece of orgonite, and then you still have that copper connection. That shit would be dope. I already told people about this before. I said if you wanted to do it, I was like, I'll tell you right here now. Don't steal that shit from me. I'll come and find you. I'll hunt you down. Maybe not like in real life, but on the Astrodome. You will lose badly. But I'm happy to share. Well, share the company, of course. Banana feet. Yeah, there you go, man. Well, yeah, the insoles would be dope too. The insoles would be a good way to start it off and get people to understand, to see if they start to feel something from it. I mean, people that are more into subtle energy to begin with, they'll know. But making the entire shoe. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's right, Stan. I talked to you about it. That's right. I mean, I put a couple of videos out there where I was explaining to people, but usually again, they're so far into the middle of the video that nobody that knows me that I trust would be listening to the shit anyways. Nobody that I don't know that I wouldn't trust would be listening to it at that point in time. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the adding the magnets too would be doing a number. I mean, you could just use the flat the circular magnets, right? I don't off the top of my head I don't remember which way you'd put it, but obviously you'd have one in your heel, right? And then you could even, I think I would do one just of that in the heel, and then probably toward the front I would use a smaller one, ring magnet, and I would coil that like rodent coil style, and that would connect to the rest of the shoe. It depends. I'll play around with it. Oh yeah. Oh man. Last night, dude, it was thundering heavy. It was raining thunder and lightning, like super severe. It was crazy. I don't know. Sometimes I look at it outside. I'm like, there's no way it's supposed to be this dreary outside. Like, I don't know how much of the weather is. I get back to this, lately. I've been on that like how much of any of this stuff is natural. Everybody's like, gotta get connected with nature. Like, yeah, but like, what are we saying when something's natural versus? Of course, we can say if I go through the process of um, making clouds and putting things in it and like let's put up in the sky, that's not that'd be artificially human construct. Or like what's really occurring naturally without humans assistance. You know what I mean? Like where would the weather come from? What's the natural cycle? And we say natural cycle, but that natural cycle, if we really understood the natural cycle, we're talking about a lot of electromagnetic systems that are probably a grid underneath this soil substrate that's on top of a system. I mean, especially if you're aware of the pyramids and the big buildings and capacitors and all of these things. It's a motherboard, and we're sitting on top of one. It's like what I mean. How much really is not augmented reality? You know, people get into like they put the goggles on, they're in an augmented reality. Like, how much of it isn't really augmented now? Not like that. I'm talking about like, okay, I designed a plane and that plane can fly, and we'll put some stuff in there and we'll cloud seed because maybe They know so we need to put more rain. They need more rain. I was having this conversation with somebody. It was a youngster the other day, but obviously know it all. Somehow half my age, but knows twice as much as me, which would be really difficult normally. Anyways, just to like a normal person, but it's fucking me you're talking about, and I'm just suggesting an idea, and he's saying it's a dumb idea, and I'm saying what if, like you don't know how much water would be anywhere. I'm not saying that some of these failures and these disasters, some of them are on purpose, obviously. Some of them might be accidents. But how much to say, like, what are they trying to seed clouds because they know that there's gonna be no weather. The weather will be bad this year. They already figured that out. So they're like, okay, we need to seed these clouds, and this is the way we can do it. And we're gonna make rain because, well, shit, they don't understand sound technology and what the Native Americans were doing. Rain dancing really is doing something. They're using types of energies that it's free to understand sound technology. It's already there. They just don't understand what it's doing. They can say, I can take this physical object and make this certain physical thing happening. They can't see the association with sound so much. Well, that's you'd call that artificial rain. They're coming together doing something to make something happen. So it's no different. I mean, obviously, some of it is pretty jacked up what they're doing, but those are my favorite conversations. I'm like, I spent 20 years of my life completely learning about shit, and you've listened to a fraction of me talk for a couple years, and you think I'm wrong about something. Okay. Show me. CERN? Yeah, I did the whole Concernicus talk. I don't think CERN. I think CERN is more of. I think it's more mental magic that they're using. I think they're using psychological mental magic with a secondary system that is maybe harnessing electromagnetic power for the realm, but it's using it through people as like in the Matrix, but we're not plugged in. We're spitting off ions, let's say that. We're spitting off energy, electromagnetics is happening. With auric fields, we have electricity running through us. You can put your hands next to somebody and they can feel your energy. It's not just dissipating heat. I mean, heat is a result of electrical conductivity. So we're putting off energy in out here. So maybe they get people thinking, and their thoughts are manifesting ideas and energy, and they're collecting that. Why not? And I think that's something that they're doing. It's like when people you pay more attention to something. Are they catching your energy? They could do it monetarily. They could do it energetically, and just using it in different places. Okay, what time are we looking at here? Okay, let me let's. You know what? Let me do this. Let me keep this under an hour. Whoa, I'll try to do that, and then I'll do another one in a little bit. Because now that I've drank some coffee, I do have to take a dump. I don't know where I'm taking it to. I'm just gonna leave it in there, I think. And I'll be back on later, and I'll do a show on my next brain spasm. Blah. But probably one of the two topics I spoke about earlier. We'll see. But it's good to see. Hey, and Stan, we'll go further on the shoe thing, man, and the souls thing and all that. Definitely down with that. And everybody else, good to see you. Thanks for showing up. Thumbs up are great. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Blarg. Go a fun day, be weird. Inspire the world. If you can't do that, at least take care of yourself. And donations are always happily, thankfully accepted. And we'll talk soon. Bye. Toodles.